Welcome back to my Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that's gripping Port Charles as loyalties shift, danger looms, and the threads of romance and revenge become inextricably intertwined. Carly Spencer's role in what could be the most pivotal moment of her relationship with Sonny Corinthos takes center stage first. The buzz suggests that her valiant actions might not only save Sonny's life, but also reignite the embers of their undying connection, and perhaps give birth to a full-blown Carson renaissance. Imagine Carly, caught in the sterile fluorescent glow of General Hospital's intensive care wing, recalling every stolen kiss and shared promise she once thought was lost. In a newly crafted subplot, she discovers an aged love letter Sonny penned before their first wedding. Its ink faded but its sentiment as fierce as ever. That letter becomes her fuel when she realizes that if he doesn't survive this latest threat, their chapter together will close forever. As she steels herself to defend him against a cunning assailant, viewers will also see flashbacks woven seamlessly into the present-day drama. Moments of laughter in Kelly's kitchen, hushed confessions in Danny's hospital room, and exchanged glances in the rain outside Il Giardino. This artful blend of past and present will not only demonstrate how deeply she cares for him, but also remind fans of every twist and turn that first brought Carly and Sonny together. By the time she steps forward to wrest the syringe away, audiences will be rooting for her not simply as a heroine, but as the one who dares to believe in second chances, proving that true love can survive even the darkest hour. Next, let's rewind to the conversation that laid the groundwork for all that heroism. Jason Morgan's prescient words in the April 21st episode, which now read like prophecy. In a tense corridor exchange, Jason cautioned Carly, "He's going to need a lot more help than he thinks." A line that seemed innocuous at the time but has taken on prophetic weight as this crisis mounts. In our extended retelling, the scene is enriched by a montage of production outtakes. Jason pacing under the flicker of a faulty hospital bulb, tightening his leather jacket before confronting Carly, his jaw clenched with the determination of a man who knows too well what danger lurks around every corner. Behind the cameras, the writing team reportedly debated whether to place this moment earlier in the season. Their choice to hold it back only amplifies its impact now, transforming a simple gesture into an omen. We can almost hear the collective gasp of devoted viewers as they connect the dots. Jason's relentless protectiveness, Carly's unwavering loyalty, and Sonny's vulnerability, all converging into a narrative crescendo. Detailed analysis from soap opera bloggers has pointed out how the scene mirrors a similar warning Jason once gave to Diane, underscoring a pattern of his cryptic guidance that always arrives just in time. This meta layer of self-referential writing elevates the storyline, rewarding longtime fans who delight in spotting callbacks and narrative symmetry. Before Jason's warning, an even more visceral moment unfolds in what may become one of the most memorable action sequences in recent General Hospital history, a desperate fight between Carly and the masked intruder. Although we know the assailant, presumed to be Colette Moreau, arrives in scrubs bearing a syringe of poison, the choreography of the ensuing scuffle has been reimagined here in full cinematic detail. Picture Carly lunging across Sonny's bed, her heel planted on the linoleum as she blocks Colette's first jab with the plunger end of the needle. The camera angle shifts rapidly between close-ups of sweat beading on Carly's forehead and wide shots that capture nurses fleeing in alarm. A burst of adrenaline-pumping score underscores each grapple. Colette spins, hurling the syringe like a javelin, only for Carly to catch it midair, her fingers closing around the glass barrel. At that moment, time slows. The slightest clink of metal as Carly's nails graze the plunger turns deafening. In our expanded version, Carly twists Colette's wrist, forcing the needle toward the intruder's arm in a bold reversal of fate, and for a split second, the roles of hunter and hunted blur. Hospital security bursts in, stun guns drawn, but Carly stands between them and Colette, eyes blazing with righteous fury. It's a brutal yet thrilling tableau that would rival any primetime thriller, reinventing the soap opera fight with filmic flair and underscoring Carly's unshakable resolve. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the initial breach of trust, the appearance of a calm but lethal figure in Nurses Greens. In our restructured narrative, we delve deeper into the mind of the would-be killer. Colette Morrow isn't simply a nameless goon. She's a master of deception trained in a remote facility under the notorious Cyrus Renault, where she learned to mimic medical professionals down to the faint scent of antiseptic. In one newly coined flashback, never aired but imagined here, Colette practices syringes on dummies in an abandoned wing of the Metro Court Hotel, her eyes cold as she records heart rate metrics to perfect her timing. Rumor within the hospital grapevine suggests she was once a promising trauma nurse, until a personal tragedy twisted her moral compass, leading her into the orbit of Port Charles's criminal underworld. This persona of Scrubs and Sinew adds a layer of tragedy to her menace. She moves with the precision of a surgeon and the stealth of a cat burglar, making every heartbeat in Sunny's room a potential death knell. Medical staff murmurs that the real threat may not be the poison itself, but the idea that anyone in that white coat could wield such power. Analysis from fictional insiders reveals that GH producers sought to tap into anxieties about trust in institutions, turning the hospital, a place of healing, into a stage for life or death peril. All of this peril hinges on a single spine-chilling detail: the syringe's lethal contents. While initial whispers named digitalis, the classic cardiac toxin, more recent conjecture ups the ante with the specter of polonium, a radioactive agent rare, even in spy thrillers. In our expanded exposé, we examine both possibilities. Digitalis, derived from the foxglove plant, is known to induce fatal arrhythmias in minutes, but polonium, invisible and untraceable once injected, offers a more insidious finale. We imagine Dr. Neil Byrne, the hospital's chief toxicologist, receiving a cryptic tip-off that sets off a chain reaction of encrypted messages and clandestine lab tests. As machines beep and blood samples whirl inside centrifuges, Byrne's grave expression telegraphs the gravity of the situation. If polonium is confirmed, even mere proximity to the patient could trigger a quarantine. This facet adds a geopolitical thrill. Suddenly, whispers of international espionage swirl through Port Charles hallways. Was Colette acting alone? Or was she a pawn in a high-stakes game between criminal empires? Scholars of GH's narrative strategies might note that introducing such an exotic poison marks a shift toward more daring, thriller-inspired storytelling, challenging the genre's conventions and keeping fans on tenterhooks. Finally, it all boils down to the tantalizing question posed at the article's outset: will Carly be the one to snatch Sunny back from the brink? The teaser footage frames her silhouette against the harsh glare of the hospital lights, syringe in hand, as she steels herself for a moment that could define her legacy. In our reimagined conclusion, we forecast not just a showdown but a turning point for both characters. Carly's daring intervention could prompt Sunny, once a fortress of macho stoicism, to drop his barriers and acknowledge how deeply he still relies on her. Meanwhile, Carly, the woman who's weathered betrayals and heartbreak, may find that stepping into the fray restores her belief in her own strength and worth. As April 24th unfolds on your screens, brace for a sequence of scenes that blend high drama, pulse-pounding action, and the heartfelt rekindling of a love story that has endured every trial. After all, in Port Charles, true heroes are the ones who dare to love fiercely, and sometimes that love is the only antidote powerful enough to save a life.